Hello, my name's Jeff Banks. So welcome to Retail Insight at the Spring Fair. I'm delighted that we've actually got Craig Wensley from DCUK with us as part of the celebration of this being the 75th anniversary of the Spring Fair. It still remains the biggest trade exhibition in the United Kingdom, remarkably. So Craig, why do you exhibit?
I think it gives you a chance to see people face to face. It gives you a chance to present your products and your company the way you would like it to be done, and it shows. We sell wooden ducks, so sometimes people say wooden ducks, but if you put them in a theme, in a sort of more retail or homely or interiors environment, it gives people the imagination.
So one wouldn't think if I sat down or I had to go to the bank manager and say, listen, I want a startup loan, I'm going to make wooden ducks. How did that come about? Where did that begin, that idea?
I think we originally started with furniture. It's from Indonesia a long time ago now. And I think we're always aware that furniture was probably quite a limited market. So we wanted to develop our own ideas. I think we saw some basic models of these ducks that already existed a long time ago.
In Indonesia?
In Indonesia. Okay. So that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That was one line. Now we've got over 300. So what we've done is we've branded.
Sorry, 300 lines of ducks.
So they're all different colours, different boots, different faces.
300.
Yeah, I mean, if our head of marketing was here, we'd say it's characters. Okay. So what we're actually selling is characters, emotion, joy, charm. So wooden ducks can be misleading in what it is, but they make people smile.
Yeah.
So, if you can do that, and that sometimes for our designer, when she comes up with a new duck, we'll show the ducks around the office, different people that we know. And if you make people smile, you've got a winner.
And when she comes up with that design, is that an illustration or is it a 3D model? Or how do you get this original concept for a new piece of product?
There's not one person that I would say is just the creative. I think there'll be quite a lot of talk within our team and say, oh, could we have this duck, or could a duck do this? And then our designer will interpret that, and then she will draw that. Then we'll send it to our suppliers. They will interpret that well or not so well, or change it a bit. Sometimes they get it straight away. We had a thing called a hedgie recently, which is almost like a take of a sort of like a hedgehog, which sort of looked wrong initially, but they made it in Indonesia and it was right straight away. And it just, it just makes you smile.
But it comes from a drawing. You don't have a piece of 3D modelling done.
No. So Denise, our designer, is quite old school. She'll actually draw and paint it.
Yeah.
And she loves the process. I think we tried to get her to use a computer, but she didn't really want to do that.
There's a smile on your face all the time you're doing this. It sounds fun. It sounds a fun business, is it?
I think you could sell things a lot more boring than ducks.
Yeah.
So I think they make people smile. Again, just seen an agency this morning and they want to work with us. I don't think we'll be their best paying client. I'm probably I shouldn't say that. But I think they will have fun doing what they're doing. They're a creative team. And when kind of the brand essence that we call it is charm, quality, and imagination. So, and people invest a lot of emotion into the ducks because each duck's got a name, and then you can name a duck after you. So, what hobbies? Apart from the obvious hobbies and interests, what hobbies do you have?
Me, cycling is my. I'm a big fan.
So we've got a cycling duck.
A cycling,
for example. So, if a partner or a friend or a family member was to give you a duck, most of them are presented to women. But if there's a cycling duck with the name Jeff on it, I'm pretty sure we get a smile from you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm already beginning to enjoy it. How many countries do you actually sell to?
I suppose the key countries, obviously the UK, big in Scotland, sell quite a lot to the States and growing quickly. Several countries in Europe, and again, growing that, Australia, New Zealand. But if you said how many countries we sell to via consumers, as in an individual duck selling at sort of £35, £40, quite a few.
Great. And online? Is it an e-commerce business as well as selling to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have sort of our online business, we'll have our wholesale business in the UK, and then we'll have our overseas business,
Right.
which is growing quite nicely, but it's about trying to keep it tight. I always think of a band, and when people look at a band, one of the comments that I think you'll kind of know, it's a bit like, I don't know, a nice suit or a nice meal, or you just kind of know when it works.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're trying to do for the brand and the company. We don't need to grow at that rate. Nice steady rate. It's good.
Yeah.
Making sure got the right people.
And what keeps you enthusiastic about it? Where does the energy come from?
Well, you're giving me a bit of energy now, even talking about this now. So I think it's new people, isn't it? It's new. You think of rugby or sporting teams. It's the new blood, isn't it? That sometimes comes in, and that's got to improve you. Yeah. And especially, I think, when you're the leader, who are you reporting to? Well, ultimately, you're reporting to yourself, but you're kind of responsible to those team around you as well.
Yeah, I mean, do you get up in the morning and worry about not having a new idea, or do you get up in the morning and actually think, I've got to think about something new, I've got to go into the office and encourage and enthuse my team?
Well, I mean, we all have up and down days on that, and I think sometimes enthusiasm can be difficult. However, I'm one person within those group of people, so I might be the leader in a way, but that leadership is not just my responsibility.
Yeah.
And if you've got a good group of people with you, it's a joint responsibility of driving the thing forward.
Yeah.
And having the right people that look out for each other as well.
Yeah. Trends in ducks, there are.
I suppose we're super lucky. So in your industry, that must be a hell of a lot of pressure to change and do sort of I suppose the classic one would be spring and autumn and winter. No, I mean we clearly need to be offering new items, but I think the trends, yes, we need to be aware of colours and what's moving and which are tweaking greens and yellows and reds or whatever those colours may be to make it appropriate. But no, we're not hugely fashion and trend conscious, so that's better for us. So it means that the number of lines, we can be more limited, and it doesn't have that massive pressure to constantly change and tweak all the time. Grow and improve, but not too much fashion conscious.
And are you affected by outside circumstance? So, would you do a Dua Lipa duck because suddenly she's the flavour of the moment singing, or would you do a Mick Jagger duck? Or are there events that would actually?
Yeah, I think are there organisations and other brands that could you work with that have got probably similar credentials to ourselves? When I'm talking about charm and quality, imagination, there's lots. Right. We've recently signed a licensing deal with a nice fun brand, which is kind of really very similar to what we're all about. Again, you'd look at that and you would naturally smile, and it would amuse you. There's a number of kind of one-off ducks that we've done for different organisations and different people. Hever Castle, Henry VIII duck, big fat belly, hat. Again, it's just it's fun and it's smiling, and it's their take or interpretation. The Tank Museum down in sort of Weymouth Way in Dorset. We've got the sort of the tank helmet, the captain's helmet. It's just fun.
Why are you continuously at Spring Fair? What is it that does for your business?
What else would you do? How else would you, or would one, sell their products in a face-to-face way? I don't really see many other ways. Yes, you can sell online. Yes, there's plenty of B2B websites. But, if we look at this space here, this is, I don't know, there's probably 13, something like that, meters by about 2 or 3. So our stand will be about 14 meters by about 3. And we create themes within there, whether it's a room setting or Christmas. That's the best example. So we'll have a Christmas room, and you walk in there, and biggest thing you see is people's faces. It's kind of like walking into a Christmas shop, and it's beautiful.
All ducks.
That is all ducks in that room, and different themes of ducks, whether it's traditional colours or whether we've got a mint blue or an alpine or a goldy, more natural colour. So themed within the sort of different themes, but you can create that feel, and that's what it's all about. So you want somebody to walk into that room and wow, and that gives the shop confidence.
Yeah.
And it shows that you're serious and you look like the real deal. You look like.
Have you tried other exhibitions or not?
Yeah, we've been to several different exhibitions, but it's how you can.
This is the one that actually resonates for you.
It does. I mean, over the past 3 years, we've sort of significantly increased our space, which obviously is a big cost.
Yeah.
But the difference, people are actually walking past the stand now, and it's almost like they've never seen us before. And they're almost like, how long have you been going? Well, 20 years. But because we've presented it in a different way, because we've given more of the story about what the product's all about, what it's made from, how it's made, it's hand painted, and then you can almost elevate it as well. So if you put your duck in a different setting, or your character in a different setting, somebody might think it's £40, but then actually it elevates the sort of the premium part of it as well.
Yeah.
So it's how you.
So has scale given you authority?
I think that's a great word. The authority is exactly that.
Is there anybody else doing what you do in this arena? Is there another duck company?
There's other people that import things,
but not as good as you.
I'm not going to say because that's for other people, to make that. But I think the reason why we're successful is we're focused.
Yeah.
And we're sticking to, and yes, we'll do some birds, yes, we'll do some hedgies, but I'd say probably 90%. Would be ducks in 3 different shapes. Recently, we had a mini duck. It's got a little dinky duck. Packaging is beautiful. Again, makes you smile.
And have you actually ever extended into other products that could have a duck image on it, in clothing, in T-shirts, in tea towels, in bed linen?
Okay.
Has that ever occurred?
Yeah, lots of times. And it's sort of how one would do it. We sort of, I suppose, we played around would be with things like greeting cards and wrapping paper.
Yeah.
But I think you need to be serious when you. I'm not saying we weren't serious, but you need to make a statement, and you can't just have a new product in the corner. You've got to be quite brave as though you're starting a new company and a new range, because the same confidence that I'm talking about on the stand, you need to demonstrate that confidence to your customer when you're launching something new. So we've got illustrations, we've got content, we've got video, we've got so many items, because the brand of sort of DCUK is something that that people love. So I think a lot of them would buy something different once you create that brand. So yeah, there's opportunities there. Have we realised those opportunities yet? No.
Is it called DCUK because somebody couldn't spell?
Duck Company UK. I think when we first started, there was something in, because when we started, it sort of went like that. It literally, I think Autumn Fair was our first show.
Yeah.
Say 20 years ago. And I think we had a 2x2 or 2x3 shell scheme. And I think we're getting like 30 new customers a day. I think it was one of those one-offs. I don't think you get again. But I think on the back of that, I think National Trust was one of our first customers at the time. But on the back of the DC UK, I think there was an article in some newspaper about us being sort of really dismissive or rude about people with dyslexia or something like that. But, anyway, so no, it's just a bit of a fun. It's a bit of a take.
Okay. One word that would sum up Spring Fair in your mind as a description? Spring Fair is, or was, or can be?
One word?
Yeah. And spell it right.
I think a definite. A definite.
Okay.
And a definite is you've got
to be there.
You have to be there, because if you're not, what's interesting, this is probably a bit of a side note, but your takings, I'm guessing this, you might not be the same. Fairs change over time. However, if you're not out there doing it, where else are you going to spend your money? What else are you going to be doing? So it's having that balance. You've got a budget to spend, and you need to clearly spread that budget amongst different things.
Yeah.
But you have to be in front of your customer.
Yeah. Great. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.